What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Colorist Carol video. I have a huge, massive one to show off today. I have actually several of the last few releases, including the current release for this week. I have there was a winter trio that was released in December. I have the blushers that was also released in December. And I have the anniversary trio. This is a beautiful multi-chrome trio. And I also have the new Valentine's set. So I have been sitting on these swatches for a little bit, and I decided, you know what? If I'm watching a video, I want the big, meaty, juicy videos. So I figured I will just combine all of these together, and it will just catch up the last couple of releases, including introducing the new ones for this January release. So without further ado, let's dive right in. First up is Love is a Memory. This is described as a maroon red when cold to gray when warm thermal, with color shifting flakes, rainbow color shifting flakes, and fuchsia gold orange green aurora shimmer. This has a crelly-ish type of formula to it. It's easy to build up to opacity. It's one of those types of bases that I think you'll hit opacity on the second coat, but I chose to go up to that third coat to plump it out further, and I preferred it like this. So if you have wide load nails like myself, huge nails if you will, I think that third coat is necessary. Your preference on that. I didn't have any thirstiness or anything warranting a glitter smoothing top coat, so my standard top coat that I was using for the last couple of weeks worked just as well for this. So any top coat to seal it up works perfectly well. Love is a Mystery is a deep purple when cold to blush pink when warm base, with blue to purple to violet aurora shimmer. This is one of those soft, delicate type of shades that I would classify as being a milky type of finish. It has that super glass jello-like jelly formula to it that, in my experience, don't overwork it. If you overwork it, you might get a touch of dragging. Just let that paddle brush do the work for you and take it up to 3 thin coats or 2 normal coats. Again, your preference, very much like the previous one. This will dry down semi-gloss. Again, I think any top coat works just fine with it, as it didn't need anything additional to help out that glossy factor. The thermal properties are quite contrasting, as you can see on both of them, really, and easy peasy transition on that. Love is a Journey is a rose pink linear holographic base with pink candy aurora shimmer. This is one of my top picks in the Valentine's collection. I do love a good, strong holographic effect, and Colorist Carol nails these every single time, pun intended. Journey has a jelly type of formula to it. I think 3 coats is the best to build it up. If you stop at 2 coats, you'll have that softer type of effect. The holographic effect is still quite strong, but to really maximize that holographic flame, I thought that 3rd coat was necessary. This will also dry down semi-gloss. I think any top coat also is fine on this one too. So your preference on that. I didn't have any issues, say, with my quick dry glossy top coat dulling the flame. Love is Sweet Like You is a light turquoise crelly base with matte glitters in pink, watermelon, yellow, and aquamarine, and sparse mini black hearts and micro holographic glitter. This is straight crelly goodness. Those of you following along on my Colorist Carol videos, you know the drill. Colorist Carol crellies, I strongly urge you to stop at 2 coats. Anything more than that is going to be too much and overkill on your nails. I appreciated that the heavy type of glitters, especially those black hearts, I had no issues getting them out of the bottle onto the brush. If you need to manipulate it around on your nails, that's fine too, but I thought it was perfectly fine 2 coats with nothing special. Now, I did use a glitter smoothing top coat to smooth it out. Love is Patient is a medium rich brown base with multi-chrome shimmer, UCC flakes, and a magnetic multi-chrome pigment that shifts between red, pink, and orange. This has a lush, juicy type of creamy base to it. I thought 2 coats was more than enough on the nail. Personally, I would not try to do, say, a heavy 1 coat on this just because of how it behaved. And of course, it's a magnetic finish, so make sure you you want extra polish on your nails. You want that second coat to maximize the magnetic effect. Now I am using the velvet effect for the first time on the channel here. I don't know how I feel about it for my swatches. I don't know if you can really see the magnetic effect. In person, it was hella cool though. So just throwing that out there, the magnetic pigment itself is that really pretty pink and orange glow. Love is a Little Cheesy is a bright glow-in-the-dark pink with fuchsia, pink, and purple metallic shreds. We have a super glow-in-the-dark finish going on here. Now, full disclosure, I do charge my glow-in-the-dark polishes with a LED nail lamp. It's just a way to kind of kickstart it. This is probably one of the strongest glow-in-the-dark polishes I have really ever worked with, and you'll see that in a moment on my photos here in a second. This has a rich, thicker, viscous type of formula, and I'm going to strongly suggest going up to 2 coats. In my experience, glow-in-the-dark pigments tend to be on that thicker side, and some of those flakes, if I overworked it on those brush strokes, did roll a little bit. So just throwing it out there, go soft on your brush strokes. If you do have the rolling like what I did, just take it off the nail. You will need a glitter smoother. Moving on to the Anniversary Trio, we've got 12 and Thriving. This is a strong multi-chrome base that shifts from purple, pink, gold, green, and teal, depending on how light hits or at the angle that it's viewed from. I totally agree with that, and I so appreciate that all 3 of the multi-chrome polishes, the new ones, don't have any other component in them, so we can just appreciate the strong color flips respectively. 2 out of the 3 I chose to take up to 2 normal coats, and the other 2 I chose to use 3 thin coats. So just to demonstrate your preference on that, personally, finishes like this, I like 3 thin coats to maximize all the goodies. These dry down semi-flat, any top coat works just fine. Party Like It's 2013 is an intense multi-chrome base that transitions between hues of red, pink, gold, green, aqua, and purple depending on the angle of light or your perspective. Another super color flippy, whatever you want to call it. These are very, very nice. If you're like me and you appreciate just a straight good multi-chrome action, I definitely encourage you. These get my stamp of approval. They are so glowy and, again, color flippy. I think shaded lighting shows off multi-chromes like this the best. Bright lights, you're going to see like kind of what you see on the video here. And especially if you have a deep C curve like what I have on my nails, you'll get that nice color roll between the edges of the nail and the middle of the nail. So this was the one that I chose to take up to 2 normal coats, and you can see it's pretty identical to how I wore the other 2. Doesn't Stop Me Now is a deep multi-chrome that alternates between shades of fuchsia, blue, gold, and green, changing with light or at your viewing angle. So if you were going to pick, say, one out of the 3, if you're budgeting whatever and you wanted one of the multi-chromes, I would say I think either this one or 12 and Thriving would have to get my top pick out of the multi-chrome trio, but they're just so pretty. So you can get them in a bundle special though. If you look on the website, you'll see that. And you can see kind of when I lean my nail back here, there is that nice, like strong, like smoldering type of orange glow. This is just really, really pretty. And then going on to the winter set, this is Polar Nights. This is a medium teal blue with red and pink shimmer, purple flakes, and UCC flakes. So again, I'm going to repeat myself here, very much like what we saw on Sweet Like You, that Crelly glitter bomb that we saw earlier. This one's very much like that. Colorista Carol Crellys are so perfectly formulated. I feel like whenever I first started swatching for Colorista Carol last year, I want to say, last summer, I was trying to do 3 light coats. It just doesn't work. These are perfect in opacity, plumpness, all that fun stuff. Now, I did use a glitter smoothing top coat on Polar Nights. Snowy Celeste is a soft blue Crelly base with fuchsia gold green aurora shifting shimmer, holographic flakes, white matte glitter, and chameleon iridescent micro glitter. Again, going on this Crelly formula, I think these are such great examples of what I mean when I say Crelly, meaning it builds up perfectly and beautifully in a strong type of opacity like a cream, but it's jelly in that it's got that bounce type of factor. Now, Snowy Celeste, I went in super thin and I was kind of defying my own advice here, and I took it up to 3 super thin coats. I want to note that I kind of regretted that 3rd coat, so I should have stopped at 2 normal to somewhat lighter coats. This is soft type of base color. So I should have just accepted that. And, Ice Queen is the last one in the winter trio. This one's an off-white curly base with green, indigo, violet shifting Aurora shimmer, UCC flakes, and rainbow color shifting micro flakes. I listened to my own advice on this one and I stopped at 2 coats. Again, we have that softer type of almost dove gray sort of base. It allows all of those beautiful flakes to shine through and give you that strong mosaic effect. Ice Queen also dried down really thirsty, not necessarily textured, say like snowy Celeste, but I did use a glitter smoother with this one. And then moving on to the volume 2 of the blushers, this first one is Boreal. It's described as a violet jelly base. So I want to highlight as we go on to these blushers, I purposely chose to show all of them at 3 thin coats. That way you can get an idea. Say 1 coat if you wanted to use it as a color corrector or to help out, say, a super shimmer polish, that type of thing, or a sheer. Or if you wanted to build them up at 3 coats, they look super juicy and pretty this way too. So your preference on that. I do think that these are so incredibly versatile. And if you're just starting out, jellies and creams, I personally feel like that's a great way to build your arsenal, especially if you like these special effects that you want to kind of work with layers and kind of mess around and see what they can do, that sort of thing. These across the board have wonderful formulas to them. Jelly polishes themselves, you want it to be where you can just do minimal brush strokes and build it up soft and slow without having too much, say, streaking. And I think Arctic, for example, is a good representation of that. You don't want super patchiness. So I personally really liked the formula on all of these, and I can see them working really well in, say, whatever use that you wanted to use them for. And then moving along here, we've got Glacial. This one is a light teal versus the previous one, Arctic, which was a soft turquoise. This one's got more of that true, somewhat soft type of blue base to it, flattering. And again, easy, super smooth type of formula. That first or second coat, I think, would be wonderful for a base for an undie. And yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about these. I think they work really well. And if you were in the market to grab you some very versatile type of jellies, yeah, these definitely get my stamp of approval. I really liked them. Another thing you can also do with blushers or, jelly type of finishes like these, you can absolutely use these to make pond effects, meaning, say, if you had a flaky topper or even a glitter topper, anything like that, especially those super chonky type of glitter toppers, even the ones that you have to kind of go fishing and pick and pull those larger glitters, that type of deal. You can do, say, 1 layer of a sheer polish like this, and then a layer of your flaky or, whatever it is, and then just kind of build it that way. And you kind of make your own type of crelly, if that makes sense. That's another way you can use toppers, specifically glitter and flaky toppers, and just throw that out there for those of you who are new to indie polish and stuff. There's quite a bit of creativity you could do once you get, say, I call it, for lack of better words, an artist palette. I've got one of those little wheelie 3 cabinet things under my swatching desk, and I typically keep my jellies, my stamping polishes, my creams, things like that in that little caddy. For lack of better words, it's that little 3-drawer thing you can get at Walmart. So anyways, Crisp to me is almost like a super neutral out of the set. And I think this one's going to be really interesting, especially if you've got, say, a sheer type of finish, but it has, say, a tinted gray base, which we see a lot. I think this one would work for that too, for a blurring base coat of some sort. And then the last one in the set is Cozy. This one is a warm mauve brown. Another one that I would kind of, depending on your skin tone, may pull pretty nude to you. I thought it pulled pretty nude to me, as my natural nail, as you can see underneath my clear falsie, is kind of like a pinky, almost mauve type of look. So if you're medium, warm toned, this might also work if you're looking for something juicy in like a nude type of way. So I thought this was really pretty, kind of giving me a bit of a 90s vibes going on here. And across the board, each of these dry down kind of semi-flat, semi-gloss. There's no need to, say, use like a gel-like top coat. I think any top coat is fine. The one that I'm actually using in this video is of the thinner variety. So no issues with needing to amp it up and glossifying it. And we're going to wrap this up with a really quick will it topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. So the Valentine's collection, the thermals, y'all know the drill at this point. The thermals, I personally would not recommend toppering. The Crellies, same thing for like the winter stuff. And then that holographic finish, I don't know, it actually worked. That looked really cool. I was pleasantly surprised, but getting off my tangent here, I personally would not recommend the Crellies per se as toppers, unless maybe you were doing like a super light colored base to it. The multichromes don't need any black undie to it to say get them to have more color shift. Although if you wanted to say conserve your bottle, maybe I could see that, but they're just so deliciously opaque. I don't see the reason why. And then the winter trio, as you can see, yeah, they kind of do pass the test, but I personally wouldn't. I don't typically care for Crellies in this fashion like that. So the winter collection, the anniversary trio, and the blushers are all currently available through Colorista Carol's website. I will link you all below to Colorista Carol's Facebook group if you want to join that. And I'll also link you to Colorista Carol's website if you want to get in there and just check out all these and many, many more that are on the site. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.